The reopening of schools for grade 7 and grade 12 learners has been postponed to next Monday, the 8th of June. The Basic Education Department has conceded all schools are not ready to open today. The department says only school management teams, teachers and non-teaching staff will return to schools today to prepare for the arrival of learners next week. A media briefing by Basic Education Minister Njimi Checha on the readiness of schools to resume classes, which was scheduled for last night, was postponed to this morning at 11. The department says the Council of Education Ministers met to assess school readiness, where it received several reports indicating a substantial number of schools are not ready to reopen. The CEM says it's concerned that in some provinces, personal protective equipment to protect learners against the spread of the coronavirus had not been received, and some schools had not been made ready for the arrival of teachers and learners. Some schools in Port Elizabeth are unlikely to meet the minimum standards for reopening. By last Friday, personal protective equipment and thermometers had still not been delivered to some schools. Those who did receive the equipment say it's not enough for the number of grade 7 and grade 12 learners. Teacher shortages still pose a challenge in the Eastern Cape. Around 2,000 teachers are above the age of 60, while 1/5 are over 55 and may not be returning to work. Our reporter Lerato Fekisi is in Port Elizabeth for more details. Lerato, a very good morning to you. What's the situation in Port Elizabeth?
A very good morning to you, Desiree. We are now at Kezangwana Primary School in KwaZakhele, a school situated within the heart of the township in this area. And the irony, Desiree, that's at this school is that, yes, the pupils have not come to school today because they were informed by the school not to come because not enough PPEs were delivered. We are aware that the Minister of Basic Education did say that non-teaching staff will be allowed at school today, but the non-teaching staff at the school, only a few of them have arrived. And because, Desiree, most of those non-teaching staff actually all of them do not have masks because the PPEs that are brought to the school are also not enough for the non-teaching staff as well. So the irony is that the non-teaching staff, teachers are allowed to come to school today, but when they arrived, even their PPEs are short. So how much more the pupils would have come to school were they allowed to come to school this morning? But joining me this morning is a teacher at the school who knows the struggles of the school, and perhaps the reason why they told their pupils not to come this morning is Ms. Phumla Mbaza. Ms. Phumla, your pupils are not here this morning, not only because the minister had said so, but because of the school, you decided not to allow your pupils back. What are some of the reasons for that?
One, I did not send a child at home. There was no child here because maybe they've heard from the radio or from the TV that they're supposed to come on the 8th because we do not have PPEs for the learners. So maybe it's that. And the parents, the concerns of the parents, maybe. I'm not sure.
What are some of the concerns as a teacher at the school that you had if schools had opened today?
One, the school has not been fumigated, so we are here at risk. We don't know what's going to happen. Our toilets are not in the state for the learners that we have. It's not good because few of them are working. And we've reported this to the department and promised to come and fix it, but they're not fixed yet. So the water tank, there's a jojo there. There's no tap on that jojo. It needs water. We thought it was going to be fixed by today. Everything went well, but it is not. So they are not safe. The kids are not safe to come here at school.
The minister has now given you a week to prepare, to train teachers, to coach them, to teach them about the various ways to make sure the kids are safe at school. Do you think that a week is going to be sufficient for all this to be done in preparation for next week Monday? Also bringing into consideration the fact that you're saying there's no water, the taps aren't working, the toilets aren't working. Is a week enough to prepare so that everything is in place come next week Monday?
No, I don't think it is enough because they're supposed to have enough water and the toilets are short. We've got only 2 blocks for these 60 learners, and there's supposed to be a social distancing, but it won't be able to happen like that because of the shortage of toilets and They are short, but still there are few of them that are not working, so it is not enough for them. And on Tuesday last week, we were here at school. Learners were getting groceries from United Transport. The learners were here with their parents. They know nothing about the social distancing. We talked to them to give space, but they were just looking at us, meaning that they don't know. And a week for them to teach that, it is not enough at all.
Let's just bring Mr. Ododo, who's also the SGB at the school, just into the picture as well. He actually informed us last week that the school, Desiree, was not fumigated because they were told that before the school closed, no child who was infected was at the school. So which meant that the school in their term is actually clean. Mr. Ducho, the school, like you said, was not disinfected, has not been disinfected as yet. And the reasons behind it is that the department said that before the schools closed, the school was clean. So there's no reason, as they said, to disinfect the school.
Well, I'm sorry to say that is nonsensical. There is no format that the department can tell us that the school doesn't need to be fumigated. Look, before the pandemic exploded in the whole country, schools were needed to be fumigated. All buildings, they needed to be fumigated. We have received communication from the department saying they will give us PPEs and the schools won't be fumigated. We even took a decision as the SGB of the school to say, look, the money that we get from department, there is a money set aside that we need to fumigate the school ourselves. Look, the buildings here, you know, how big is the school? So it means the school will have to use a lot of money to fumigate the school because Department of Education cannot do that.
What are parents saying as you're preparing for the alleged first day of school today? What are parents, are they scared, are they anxious, even next week, to bring their pupils back to school again?
Quite honestly, parents were very much excited, you know, that schools are going to be opened, but they only wanted to see what are the precautions that the department has put aside, you know, to clean the school. And when we reported to them that the school has not been fumigated and even the PPEs for the children are not yet, then they said, we cannot allow our children to be exposed in this pandemic. Look, even the teachers here are not safe. I was just looking at the toilets now. The condition of the toilet is very bad. You know, there are no clean water in the school. Nothing has been done. Before the pandemic, before this corona thing, it was difficult for the department to give us clean water. Give us jojos here. There were no jojos. It's very, very important this time that we've got everything in place. So the parents are not keen to bring the kids here.
Well, that was Ododo, SGB here at the school, saying the parents were actually excited to bring their pupils and their children back to school this morning. But when they were informed that the school to date hasn't been fumigated, the school has not got enough PPEs, they are now reluctant. And even the SGB and the teachers are saying that come next week, Monday, Desiree, they are not sure that the school will be ready. Like he said earlier on, the toilets are not clean, there is no water tanks, the taps are not working, and the school condition itself, as it lies right now, cannot accommodate the over 60 pupils who are supposed to return come next week, Monday. So it's yet to be seen that on the 8th of June, will pupils come here and will teachers and also will they be ready? And above all, will parents be at ease that their children, when they come to school, they are safe and protected amidst a very horrific COVID-19 pandemic? Back to you in studio.
Thank you so much for that update. Of course, that's the conversation of the day.